Hi folks, it's Don Marshall. A quick announcement before we get started. One, this episode will be a little bit shorter than most. We had a scheduling conflict come up midway through our recording session, so this episode will only be about an hour long, and we end at the break. That also means that there will be no Unpredicted after party for those of you that support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/DonMarshall72, if you're interested in a more behind-the-scenes look after every episode. However, as a special thank you for sticking with us, next Friday, which is usually our off week, we are going to be having a sort of behind-the-scenes look that is a brief recording of the players reacting to their minis. It's a quick 5 to 10 minutes that we recorded very spontaneously, but right before this scheduling conflict happened. So thank you all so much for your patience. Now on to the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are one step closer to answering that question. Around me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hi, internet friends.
Hello.
We are joined by new internet friend, Trevor Collins. Trevor, thank you for coming back and not messaging me halfway through session 1. I need to get out of here. This is inappropriate.
Well, hey, thanks for not wiping me out in the first encounter. We had
it was
some
a possibility. You
it
charged
was
right at that thing.
Listen, I'm brave, but thanks for having me back.
Great to have you. We have a couple of people to thank before we get to the recap. Special thanks to Sarah M. Shunky for the artwork. You can find her at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram. The battle maps are done by Little Wit the cartographer, and the music is made by Cullen Vance. You can go to cullenvancecreative.com. If you would like to see listen to any of his music. And the planning and scheduling and all of that is lovingly helped by my wife. She goes by Nat20Wife online. And in a few hours, we'll be running her very first live stream charity, TTRPG, where I get to play a Mad Max type barbarian as we drive through the desert. It's going to be great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're raising money for Doctors Without Borders. I'll update this podcast for how much we raised, but we're aiming for 20,000. So fingers crossed.
You got this.
Honey, if you're listening to this, best of luck. Hey, everybody, doing something a little new. This is Dawn from the future as I edit this episode. She didn't need any luck. We raised $700 in 5 hours, and total with the group we were raising money for, $26,000. Thank you to everybody that showed up to support. It means the world to us. All right, on with the show. All right. I actually don't know if she listens to Unpredicted Party. I usually just update her with my screams.
Yeah.
With all of that out of the way, are we ready to get started? Oh, shoot. Right. The system we are using is the One Ring by Free League Publishing. I've forgotten this so many times. And we would like to thank our wonderful sponsors, The Rook and the Raven. For all of your TTRPG note-taking needs, you can go to therookandtheraven.com. All of that cool stuff. With all of that out of the way, we need to get to our final announcement. We are having a live show. Please join us June 8th at NoCoCon in New York.
Watertown, New York.
Watertown, New York.
I think it's, isn't it 9th and 10th? Or is it 8th and 9th?
Shoot, is it 9th
It's the 8th
and 10th?
I think.
It's the 8th and 9th?
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's a two-day
I had a panic moment there for a second. You're fine.
Freak me
8th
out,
and
man.
9th.
Everything's fine.
It's so far in New York, it's almost Canada.
It's also where they invented water. So go see it. Yeah, people gotta go. And if they want to prove it wrong, I guess they gotta go.
You guys need that data.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't make the rules.
Prove us wrong. We dare you. Come, prove us wrong, please.
Yeah, you won't.
Oh no, they will.
Is everybody ready to get started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. When last we left off, the party fought against an enormous sea monster that had been stalking them through the rivers as they made their way south towards Gondor. Now, of course, they have to go around a big thing of land because water is faster, but they were waylaid by both the sea monster and two young women, Havari and her sister. The boat was kind of hit by an arrow, and Havari missed, aiming for the sea creature, and long story short, after the battle with the sea monster, where some really clever stuff happened, the two ladies stole the boat. But not before meeting a very wonderful companion on the way that hasn't revealed too much about himself, Erkurion, son of Prince Imrahil. What sort of story he has can only unfold, and I will let you all take it from here, because you are going to watch as this boat that you so desperately need, 200 yards out into the water, as these two women have stolen it. But not before. The boat is hoisted bodily up as these two women, hanging on for dear life, are brought into a much larger boat, and you hear a familiar sound. The voice of the Corsair Pirate Queen, Sangaya. I leave you all to it.
Go ahead.
No, you please.
I think Tanel looks back at everyone and sprints towards the boat. Just full tilt run. That's our only way out of here.
I feel like at last we left our compatriots. Tariel had she chucked a rock or something at the boat.
You picked up a bit of the sea monster flesh scales,
and just
started laughing
manically
and chucked it, and
So she's still standing on the beach, I guess, just with her hands on her knees, half doubled over, just laughing her ass off. And when she sees Tanel take off, she'll just kind of go, okay, and maybe slow jog after her. But she kind of is still wanting just to watch and see what happens.
Halloweth, you were also laughing, something I think very rarely heard in this campaign.
It's true, yeah. Halloweth is not known for his jovial nature, shall we say, but he found this very amusing and mildly ironic. So he's going to... Do I have any, I'm assuming we kind of journal maybe a little bit as a group. There's some form of paper, papyrus. Okay. Halloweth is going to scribble a little note. First of all, how far away is this boat?
It's in the water. You would have to swim a fair amount to get there.
Sure, but is it I think I can't remember if you said 200 yards or like a decent.
It's you need a boat to get to that. To get to that.
Is it within arrow shooting distance?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Are you? Walk me through this. I don't want to.
Okay, he's chuckling. He's gonna just scribble a little note, which he will reveal when it's time to do so. He's going to scribble a little note, tie it to the end of an arrow, just wrap it up, and shoot this arrow at the mast of this ship.
Okay, so a mast is a fairly small target.
Okay,
so
he's going to shoot at the... No, you know what? He's
gonna shoot at the pierce a person.
The boat.
He says, "Hello,
Monty Python." You know when he shoots it into the tower, and then the guy is like, "Please save me."
That's for yourself.
He's Sir Lancelot's, or I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's going to aim for the boat, which is being pulled up. The raft is being pulled up, the kind of the broad side of that raft.
Okay. I'm
not aiming for the two girls, although that would be also very funny. But no, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
Okay,
he has to be good.
So let me ask you a question as you do this. Are you sending off a piece of your existing journal?
No. He's gonna scribble something new. Just a little hey, essentially saying, pick us up, please.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We're over here.
Okay.
Ooh.
Here's how I'm gonna do this. Halloweth, I need you to make me an attack roll.
Yeah.
With the distance, I'd say this is just going to be a flat roll. Any lower than if you miss it completely, you're oh god, what's the range here?
Is there something in the book that says
not particularly, but let's see how it goes. Halloweth, make me an attack roll with your bow. Yeah, I'll let you just make a regular attack roll. I didn't know if I wanted to add anything or subtract anything, but
I feel like they can't be super far offshore. Like that, our little boat, they have not had a ton of time to get away.
Yeah, it's not far offshore. It's further downriver. And the question is, what direction are they coming? Because Havari was going one way, they were coming the other. And are they going to then turn around, or is Tanel running after it? Like, are they going to be able to catch up? So I think in this instance, let's give it a shot.
I rolled a 24.
With a 24?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make an awareness check for all of the pirates. They're going to do this with favor because there's a few of them.
Are you pulling a Havarti right now?
Okay,
In
so
a way, which is why I kind of thought it'd be funny
That's
to
why
aim
it's
for the boat that they're clinging to.
Yeah.
12, 13. All right, so that's a 13. Halowith, what does the note say?
It just says, I'm seeing it based on the thing, look north to the bank. Pick up, please.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And then he's gonna sign it. He's gonna sign it Hallowe'th.
Little hearts on XOXO Halloween.
XOXO Halloweeth. XOXO.
Okay.
Woody, please.
Okay. Before this happens, because it's gonna take a second.
Yeah.
Beery, what are you doing?
Beery right now, because like his friends are taking off running down the bank, and he's got this like fresh kill, and he's gonna like, he's trying to like make this like momentary decision. Can he do a quick scan over if there's anything salvageable? Like, I don't know. Are the fangs hollow? Does it have like venom glands? Like, does it have anything like that? Anything useful?
Make me a scan check to see what portions of it are visible. The higher you roll, the more you're going to be able to find.
Yay! All right. How about our human companion? While I count this all
Yeah,
up.
while Beery does his craft stuff, Erkurion, what are you doing? Watching these manic elves sprint off, shoot arrows at boats, and start laughing.
Yeah, so a little meta, I am immediately, my mind is a whirl for the situation because I'm trying to process a bunch of different new information. Clearly, this party recognizes these sails as I do, with a totally different emotion behind them. And I also have this very interesting conflict now with Havari kind of stealing this boat with her sister and running off, while also dropping a potential truth bomb. I still don't know if I can trust this person saying that they're betrothed to my brother. And so I'm conflicted now with, okay, they've stolen from us and run, but now we also have these pirates coming in. And so I'm kind of just like taking this all in and figuring out how I can navigate, just personally, how I can navigate these waters, given all of the kind of social wrappings between these parties. So I kind of take it all in and I look around and I say to the group, it appears you guys recognize these sails as well. I also know that I'm not dressed in anything too it's not going to give me away necessarily. These are just more vague adventurers clothing. So I'm kind of letting the party take a lead here so as not to cause any ripples with an obvious like this is who this guy is. So I kind of recognize everyone recognizes the sails, and I just kind of gesture broadly, looking around, and I say, let's just try to get through this with as minimal bloodshed as possible. Let's not fall to any of her schemes, and I also call off to let's see, to Tanel, who's running after the boat. And for the love of God, maybe let's not try to fall in love. Let's not try to woo.
No problem.
Listen, I'm not going to hold you back, but I don't know that that's the move.
Holy shit!
Man.
Let's
your
go.
Ass, Janelle.
Well,
feeling called out.
I'm just saying.
That's fucking phenomenal.
I'm just saying. I don't know if this is the one.
Look, I don't know anything about you, but I do know that you're gay.
Slows down just.
And I kind of chuckle a little bit, but I also kind of run forward and I look back to Beery as he's kind of looking over the scene, and I kind of chuck him not chuck him some words, but like I'm also still in like the kind of what am I trying to say? Kind of the fallout of this whole encounter where I'm seeing exploding arrows and these incredible machinations out of this group, and ancient magic and a dwarf leader. I'm just so thrown. This is like such an incredible moment of so much like highs and lows all at the same time. So I'm just kind of like overstimulated and kind of jog to meet with the rest of the group here.
There's our tagline. The Unpredicted Party. It's gay and overstimulating sometimes.
Yeah.
So much
Okay.
happens at
I
once.
can't imagine just the combat of seeing like, oh, roots come up and grab this thing, like Biri's catapults going off. There's exploding fire arrows going to this thing. This all takes place within like 12 seconds.
We're being
Like, of
attacked by
combat.
teens.
Imagine being on the outside, just looking at that, going. It's like you're getting like you're seeing the best like Mario Smash player like
Yeah.
absolutely tear a new one for these other characters.
Just like, you can
It must
do
be
that?
insane
Like
to
this
witness.
morning, you were just having a nice walk through the woods.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
I
like,
completely underestimated this
Yeah.
party.
It's
In
and now
the
you're
best
watching like a
way.
live game of Smite. It's just
Now I mean, the meta is now going, man, did Havari steal the boat, or was she running away from this?
It's a good point. You bring up a very good point.
Ugh, I hadn't thought
Anyway.
about that.
Anyway, I'm emotionally conflicted, but I'm kind of going with the groove here.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Yeah. Let's get to our rolls that we've made. First, we'll get to Biri. What did you roll in your scan check?
It's happening again. 22.
Okay, with a 22, you notice there are a lot of teeth. Like a lot of teeth. Like
Are we talking like long cylindrical? Are we
Is it
talking
like a
jagged
shark?
like
Does
sharks?
it constantly rotate? It's like a conveyor belt of teeth.
it's a lot of shark teeth, but in that way that like Shai Hulud's sandworms from Dune have that like that bend to it, and many of them.
Like how long we talking here?
For this one, for the hang on, check my notes. For the 20-foot one, you're looking at about 8 to 12 inches per tooth.
Oh my God.
I had my
Huge.
hand in that thing's mouth.
That's a foot long.
It's 20 feet long, and its head is like what Max said, like the ugly, huge eels, where the jaw is like its primary means of attack to just boom, swallow
telling
everything
me-
whole.
Telling me that if this thing smiles, it's got 2 feet of teeth. It's got a running duck. It's a tall running duck's worth of
A long
teeth.
boy. It's a long boy of teeth.
It's just a long boy of teeth.
So many long boys.
How many long boys in this thing's mouth?
It's a
It's the equivalent of the Breath of the Wild flying dragon guys, but water-based.
it's one eel of long boys.
Mm.
Write that down.
A good unit of measurement.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, how many long
right.
boys are you tall?
Oh my God.
So-
Beer's
Like
going
we're
to
all
try to
having a
harvest
seizure.
as many scales and teeth as he possibly can. Or
Oh,
hide
wait a
anything
minute.
visible.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Thought he just cut its head off or something. I don't know.
No. Halloweth,
Who's that?
you sent the fire arrows down
Oh, yeah.
its throat, and
And
it
exploded it from the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let me do this because I just remembered and I want to reward creative stuff. Beery, on top of the teeth that you can harvest, there are also bits of, call it the outside portion of the flesh where the tough scales are. It's not enough to make like a full suit of armor, but you start noticing on the ground little sort of patches of like an almost armor-like material that is the outside skin of this creature that is both supple but tough to penetrate.
Dude can literally make scale mail.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
But,
Halloweth,
Yeah.
what does your letter? Oh, sorry, Beery, were you
okay,
done? Are
sorry.
you looking
So,
for anything
like
else?
A little bit of like hard carapace,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
scales. And how many teeth would you say?
Honestly, depending on how long it takes Halloweth to do this, you can just keep harvesting them, and I'll get back to you on how many it is.
But also
I can't-
remember that a tooth is not easy because it's got the root. Like it's gonna be in
Yeah.
there.
I imagine
imagining
there's
him,
some sort
like-
of tool you're.
There's a little bit of that, but also like I'm imagining him like sitting on his butt and like both feet are pressed against. Yeah, it's like doing some Excalibur shit. That is the-
Ariel's just gonna jog by and be like, "Go get him, Beery," and keep going.
Whoever pulls the teeth from the mouth is the true king of the water beasts.
Oh dear
Yes,
God.
yes.
Halloweth,
Yeah.
what does the letter say?
It still
Oh no,
says,
sorry,
"Look
you said
north."
this already. Yeah, you said this
"Look north,
already.
pick up, please. Signed, Halloweth.
XOXO.
Fuck it. Yeah.
We're all
Okay.
trying to swoon on this.
Yeah,
Pretty
he's
much,
gonna do
yeah.
XOXO.
All
I like the
right.
idea that he's
Okay.
just put like the U in his name as like a little heart or something.
Yeah,
you
listen,
know?
Oh.
Howard's got something. He's 3 long boys tall. Okay, he's doing something right.
All right. Halloweth, I will give you this because Sangaya rolled a third. The awareness check was a 13.
Yeah.
Do you write this in the common tongue?
Oh fuck! What race was Sangaya?
Sangaya was a
God, I
human.
hope you do.
He's human, yeah.
Then yes, it'll be common.
Common tongue. All right. On a 13, Beery, there's this weird moment where Tanel has sprinted off, Tariel has sprinted off, Halloweth has shot an arrow, Nerkirion is looking at everybody like, I get overwhelmed so easily, my anxiety. And like it's a full 30 seconds. And I want to just impress upon you the level of silence that you are all just sort of sitting here as the clop, clop, clop of Tanel's boots hit the watery shore. Off in the distance, you hear, Halloweth,
Yay.
I don't have your elf eyes, but I'd like to see you.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Trevor looks so uncomfortable.
He, he's gonna. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do something cool. I may regret this, but it'll be cool if I can pull it off. I'm gonna take one of my fire arrows, shoot it directly up into the air, and then try and catch it before it hits the ground as I come back, just as like a
Yes!
here I am, and then
Yes.
That's an
Cool.
athletics check.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
gonna
Critical
strike
fail, he killed
himself.
himself.
Watch
My
it, yeah.
eye!
This is the end of Halloween. Just trying
Oh,
to do something
God.
cool.
If he dies by self-immolation, I will cancel this.
Yeah,
We
okay.
can't lose an NP. This is Molly
This
Mox
is
from
be
Critical Role levels
it
of
would
dumb.
truly be the worst way to go. Let me just
Just imagine it from like the Paris perspective. You just see a fire arrow go straight up and then a distant Wilhelm scream when it lands.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
all wake up.
I beat my target number by 5.
By 5. All right, hang on. So sometimes when crazy shit happens, and I'll explain this. I'm explaining this for Trevor's point of view, but maybe for the audience as well. I rolled a 4, and sometimes the difficulty challenge is roll a d6, and you, Halloweth, have to beat the extra of your target
the extra
number
one.
by what I do.
Mhm.
I rolled a 4, you rolled a 5. You hear Sangaya as you send the arrow straight up, and it hangs there, right? Like it's got some hang time.
Yeah.
The arrow goes up, stays lit, comes down, you catch it out of the air.
God, he's so cool.
I wish I was this cool.
Oh, you must teach me how to do that. Clever boy. Very well. And you guys watch as Havari and her sister in tow on this boat with your tinier boat literally on the deck. A boat, much larger, coming upriver. And they don't throw out anchor, but you see them from far enough away that the conversation starts. My! It has been a while, hasn't it? What brings you to Gondor's southern shores?
Tariel will just call, not a direct answer in any way. She'll just call up, Sangaya, do not kill them before I can watch.
Oh, girl, have you made enemies of these people? Havari says something inaudible to all of you. Well, it seems we're at a bit of an impasse. Pray, what would you have me do?
Aria.
What would
Yeah,
It's-
I'm leaving
it's-
this.
confirm?
It's
a
It's a
conference?
warning.
It was your shoulder.
It's like a warning noise in how she says Tariel.
Yes.
You can
so
speak
she's,
to each other in whispers if you would
That's
like
right.
at this
Yeah.
point. They're
okay,
far
she
enough.
can't hear you.
Yeah. Tanel just says, we need this boat, Tariel.
I know.
Okay. We
I'm
are on
just-
borrowed time.
having a bit of a jape. I've had a very long day.
No, I know. Just and there's like a visible nervousness to Tanel throughout all of this.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Can
okay.
what
okay.
sort can I infer what sort of nervousness? The nature
Are-
of this nervousness?
I would say so because we can sort of talk
I'm
mentally.
standing right next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you convey emotions.
She wants to be in Gondor. We have already stopped. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's the nervousness.
Tanel, the only thing I care about is getting on that boat.
Good. Okay.
But she'll be more likely to treat us well if she's amused.
True. Sengaya, where are you headed?
I don't think that's any of your business, actually, Halloweth.
That's fair enough. I say we just climb aboard and see if we can get that boat back. Maybe they can take us some of the way, because that boat is going to be quicker than ours.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be able to barter it somehow. Passage.
Okay.
We got this.
Queen of the High Seas,
Yes.
what would convince you to make room in your berth for 1, 2, 3, 5? 5? She looks at
Five.
Erkirian. 5?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so how far away is she right now?
As you're having this conversation, I'll say we're about 50 yards out now.
Okay. I looked at the group and I say, this is going to get very sticky very quickly if she knows who I am. I would recommend a lot of caution if we're going to jump on that boat, and just since we don't, time is of the essence. I looked at the group. I say, do you trust this person? Do you have experience with this person?
Those are two different
Meanwhile,
questions.
Beery is like
Yeah.
pulling the eye out of a socket. Holds it on his arm like a football. Yeah. Don't you worry about a thing. It's gonna be great.
Listen, it is great that you are harvesting that thing. That might be valuable leverage to get us out of this situation. Whatever we do, we need to get to my father ASAP. I know Gondor is the destination, but we need to get to my father. And she cannot know that.
We're not in the habit of betraying identities. Will you come or will you stay?
It looks like we're going aboard. We either need her vessel or the one she hoisted.
I think we can convince her to get us as
15
close
yards.
as we can. Trust us.
Howdy. The name's Eldon. It's good to meet you. Well met. You have a mighty fine vessel and a couple of prisoners that I think belong to us.
Oh,
Oh, no.
prisoners. Oh, Eldon,
Well-
you said your name was, huh?
Yes.
Drop. Drop anchor. Drop anchor. Let's.
Tariel just stares
anchor
at him
drops.
like we were doing so well.
Prisoners, you say? Well, I'm not above a prisoner exchange. You're not the pretty boy elf, though. Where's the pretty boy elf? I miss him. What was his name? The one that brought us so much wine.
That'd be
Rayval.
Rayval, I assume.
Rayval, yes,
Oh.
followed you around like a love-struck puppy, Tariel. I do seem to No? All right, not amongst you. Well, Lady Tariel, you and your newfound compatriot have presented me with some opportunities. Prisoner exchange, then. Do you need them?
No.
No. So it's the new friend that needs them? Escaped
It's
prisoners? Yeah.
of no concern to me what you do with those prisoners, though I think it would be less messy if you gave them back alive.
Well, I'm no longer in the business of keeping people captive on my boat, if you understand. However, I do think we could come to some sort of arrangement. Do you have any of that elvish wine from last time?
I have an idea.
Hmm.
Akirian, what's your father's name?
Imrahila.
Imrahil. Right. Oh, this is risky though. Maybe Osanwe, because I got to confer this. This can't just be something that I say out loud to her.
Ooh.
Could we ransom them off to Imrahil as a means of getting her to go where we need to go?
Ooh, clever.
Because if she's really
Ooh.
engaged to his brother, we have the prince's wife. Ransom, definitely something she'll be interested in doing.
Why don't
Everyone
we?
wins.
Can we start with just? I mean, she's willing to make the exchange for wine. Like,
Mhm.
Well, that's
we
true.
can
Let's-
do more
let's-
for
I
less.
feel like we need to
Yeah.
butter
But
this up.
it's just a
Grease
matter
some
of we
palms a
we
little
also
bit.
need her to go where we're going.
Right, but
Yeah.
if we can just get aboard the ship first.
Oh, we'll
See
buy
what's
ourselves a
what.
bottle with wine. I'm trying to think a bit ahead so that we're not caught in the moment of.
Yes,
Fair
that
enough.
sounds
Plans are
good.
good. Yes.
I like that.
Sweet.
Tariel likes that.
In which case, Halloweth puts his hand up. I have wine. I'll be willing to share for a moment of your time.
Rope ladder drops down.
Hmm.
You guys wade out in, climb aboard. Eldon, was it?
Yes.
That's not just
Zendaya,
because
right?
there's like an Elden Ring copy of Elden Ring on your desktop or something. No.
No.
Mm.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
All right. You all climb aboard and you see the following. This
Oh,
is
shit.
Sengaya.
Yeah.
bitch!
For those listening
my
on the
God, I love it.
podcast, it is a slightly older woman, maybe the 40s-ish, mid-40s.
How dare you?
You also notice that on top of the rapier that she is holding, there is another at her side. She's in this very ornate kind of jacket and like doublet, some boots. Everything looks very worn. There are patches, there are holes. The hat looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, she is also covered in blood. So you all
Perfect.
show
Is
up.
it fresh blood or is it dried blood?
Make me an insight check.
I can tell by looking if it's shiny or dry.
Yeah, it's
Can
really
I-
dark out. Make me an insight check.
I forgot.
Can I insight as well?
Yeah, anybody that wants to can make an insight check.
Would there be any way to tell if this blood matches, like, I mean, I don't know, human blood versus like the blood of the creature we just slew? Something like that.
Oh.
I'd say there's, I'd say you'd clock instantly. It's not.
Okay.
17 with a 6.
17 with a 6. Tariel? Or sorry, Tanel?
15. Hit my target number exactly.
Perfect. You see Sengaya looking at all of you and notices her appearance. Right. It's not mine. We had a disagreement with a few of the new crew that we abscond with.
I trust they're a problem no longer.
No, not at all. Not ours, anyway.
Did they have it coming?
Terrific.
Oh, they did. Yes, very much so. It's wonderful to see you all again. Tell me, why are you here?
The silence is just
Quick
perfect.
Osanwe.
Yeah,
Quick
quick
Osanwe.
Osanwe.
Quick sound and
So
just to
fast.
remind everybody, it's a quick thought, it's an emotion.
Yes.
You can't express complex like, okay, do this, then that, then that, then that.
Right.
Okay.
And also, Erkirion is not going to hear any of this. But Tariel's basically just going to sort of project out, like, truth?
I was going to say truth or false. Yeah. She's not going to be
Tru-
with Sauron, so that's
Truth.
an ally in my. It's not. Or she's not going to be with Gwahir, so
Yeah.
that's an ally in my opinion.
And you get like an image. Tanel just projects an image of like when we first met her, of like she already knows.
Yeah.
A decent amount about us.
And just kind of like to buy the party a moment of time as they kind of have this intellectual conversation with each other.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mentally.
Mhm.
Barry's gonna kind of come like over the railing of the ship, up the rope ladder with like holding onto the eye stalk like a hobo, like the eyeball like slapping against his back, and link over and it is a pleasure to be aboard, and like bow all deep, show his respects, really kind of trying to butter her up a little bit. And he wields it out in front of him. I have brought you the eye of the sea, and he reaches it out to her.
Okay,
make
so
me
can
a
I just throw out a fun fact? The
Yeah.
kind of hobo that you just described is called a bindle stiff.
Bindle stiff.
A bindle stiff, and the sack on the stick that they
Yeah.
carry, that's called a bindle.
A bundle stick.
Correct.
A tramp
That's
or hobo,
wonderful. I
especially
love
one carrying a
nomenclature.
bundle containing a
Wow.
bedroll or other gear. Okay.
It's like a cross between a Bindlestiff and Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
Like a Brothers Grimm version of Huckleberry Finn.
I dig it.
You hand her your
um,
eye bindle.
Yeah.
Eye Bindle. That's the new name of the next character.
Oh, goodness.
Jesus. Max, make me a persuasion check. Erkurion, make me an insight check.
Okay.
Which one of us has the
big?
biggest crush on Sengaya?
Why
Who's
choose?
crushing on her the hardest?
All
don't know.
right.
Good
Well,
question.
that's not crushing, I think, necessarily, but he does think that he has sway, which is different.
I have 2 over target.
2 over target. Perfect.
Hey.
Although he did like being
Beery?
called a clever boy. That was very
Yes.
23 with 2 6s.
Okay.
I always like the moxie of any mortal referring to any of the elves as like boy or young lady or whatever. It's
nerve.
like, oh no, but it's like, yeah, the nerve, the gall. But ooh,
Mhm.
tell me, do
Yeah,
it again.
but you got to serve it back. That's the thing. You got to serve nerve and gore back,
Yeah,
and that'll be.
it's a volley
get
back and
there.
Yeah,
forth.
yeah.
Beery, you're gonna look down at this eye, and she's gonna grab it out of your hand, and it's big.
Squishy.
You slayed that thing.
We did.
All of you.
Tariel now indicates that while she is not covered in blood, she is. They're all have some
Very
level
goopy,
of goo
yes.
on
Yeah.
them.
It's gonna look down at the eyeball. You have my thanks, then. This manner of beast, and she looks down onto the shore. Oh, impressive handiwork, all of you. So were you here to kill the sea beast, or?
The sea beast was an obstacle with which we have now dispatched.
And your
A minor
obstacle.
inconvenience.
Very well. Obstacles are usually placed in front of a goal, Lady Toriel. What was your goal? And you see now her tone sort of changes to a little bit like, all right, cool. You've dodged my question enough times that I'm going to start to wonder what the heck's up.
How are you feeling about eagles these days, Sangaya?
I'm not fond of anything that flies, to be truthful.
Neither are we.
Flabberworms. I know. I knew it.
Another
You said
time.
too.
We're heading.
Persuasion.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. We
Yeah.
can't do this bit 2
Not
episodes in
again.
a row.
Yeah.
We're on a
She-
time crunch.
She goes, flabberworms.
Oh my
much.
God. Very
Lady,
well.
we need to go east and south, if you take my meaning.
Gondor.
And then east again.
Mordor.
The jaws of another beast. Wait.
Make a persuasion check for me, Tariel. And just for the sake of mechanics explanation, in the same way that we ran the Anna Maria session, if the persuasion is the route you would like to go, you're going to have to either beat it a certain number of times or beat the amount by a certain amount.
Is there a different route that I could go?
Oh,
There
shit.
are.
You
There
could take
are.
fellowship. You could take fellowship points.
I was
please
just
do.
about to say fellowship.
giving that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
get
think
in.
I'll allow it if you would like to use a fellowship point. Give yourself an extra D6 unless it was an Eye of Sauron, which it was.
No.
Oh no.
You're joking.
Oh no.
Is there any way I, kind of being this like fifth wheel new person, can help step into alley-oop the
Potentially, I
Okay.
will let the scene play out because Tariel has had her chance.
Ugh.
You will, I can
Ooh.
say, have an opportunity.
Once a
for
day,
your
we can
own.
re-roll an Eye of Sauron too, if you really want to.
That
I really
oh,
want to.
Yeah. Do you want?
Wait a
We all
minute.
have to be in agreement. That's
it
a
has to be
mechanic we have.
unanimous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did this become was this always a thing?
This yes,
Yeah,
this
it's
was
always
a
been a
thing.
thing. We always forget about it though.
You-
I
Okay.
have I have it.
What's-
It's right. It's right. Hold on. Give me
Yeah,
2
she's
seconds.
got it in the
furiously
archives.
flipping through the pages.
Yeah.
So
My
then
notes,
I
I
would-
Give me 2
swear.
seconds.
I promise.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
It was
I
one of
think-
those. I have like some power of friendship, like points that you need to reach. Osanwe is one of them. And re-rolling fellowship that came. I don't remember off the top of my head when you got that. But it was. Oh, I think it was after the funeral. episode
so.
where like power of friendship becomes the.
So
Anyway,
I'll say,
yes.
Wow, we've never used it.
Tariel maybe is
You used it once, I
Oh,
think, but
once.
yes, yeah, but yeah, Tariel, go ahead.
Tariel's basically doing sort of like a running stream of consciousness of Osanwai, just keeping
Mhm.
you all like apprised of her thought process. So you're feeling that she's obviously playing a character right now. She's blustering. She's just trying to show that she's as badass as this pirate lady is, because she knows that that's how we're going to get respect. And in the midst of trying to persuade her, she just wonders and self-doubts for a minute. Has she overplayed her hand?
No.
And has she said the right thing? And so if we're going to re-roll this, that's her
God.
self-doubt. If we re-roll it, then she's going to, I assume, feel like a wave of encouragement.
I will allow
Yeah.
you if you want to say something else if you re-roll and hit your target number.
Okay.
Are we re-rolling?
Once per day, I use a fellowship point to have someone re-roll an Eye of Sauron.
Okay.
Doing
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay. I
Found
won't
it.
re-roll the other dice. I'll just
Keep track of that.
re-roll.
The D12.
Oh no.
You're
Oh, boy.
joking. You're
No.
joking.
Hey, we're getting them all out
Wait,
the
no,
way.
you didn't.
Because this is what happened last time too.
Oh
We
no.
re-rolled
It's meant to be.
and it was still shit.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Shut up. Oh my god.
Tariel is not, I don't know.
Okay.
She's tired, or maybe
Uh.
Sangaya has just had too many awesome adventures
Fuck.
that she
Well-
is not willing to be persuaded. I don't know what it
I-
is.
Were
can
you
pay
not also injured in this? So you went into the battle injured.
Not
You got
really.
also
Yeah,
well, that
she's-
shot,
No,
and then
you
you
got
kind of
torn
got.
up.
If
Yeah.
Sangaya is not persuaded, I don't know that it's going to be a failure on our part. It's just
No, it
going
won't.
to be that she's not on board with doing what we want to do.
we have other
which-
means
Yeah.
of convincing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
So,
we got aces in our sleeves.
so
We're good.
Tariel, I
Good.
guess, strikes out. God, I just re-rolled for fun and it was a 10.
So you're gonna watch, actually, Erkurion. You're gonna watch as the glint in Sangaya's eye at the recognition of these folks turns to abject horror. You want to do what? Sail,
Okay.
walk into Mordor? Surely not. That is a death sentence.
Oh, is there finally something that you fear?
Many things.
provoking, isn't it? Okay.
It's not provocation. This is a legitimate question. This woman is like a badass. She's covered in blood. She's a pirate queen. She has sailed all of the seas. Like,
Mhm.
it is interesting that this might be too far for her.
I step forward and I say, Sangaya, this is the most unlikely of situations and the most unlikely of groups, doing the most unlikely of things. I think we know one another. I'm Erkurion, son of Imrahil. We don't know each other personally, but we have a long storied history. I think my presence here today in front of you and with this group should demonstrate the fact that these are dire times and we must take dire actions to resolve what is happening here. I think if you look out into the world, you see the madness beyond, the dying hope. We might be in completely different paths after completely different forces, but you can clearly see that if we don't do the unlikely thing, team up with one another, me with this group, we potentially will all face our end. And so I look to you now to see if we can create at least a temporary alliance so we can, I don't know what it is that you need to do, but clearly we have a very uphill battle to try to do whatever last ditch effort we can to save mankind.
Make me a persuasion check.
Heart eyes.
Oh,
Oh,
right, right.
Oh, shit.
Can I just like hold my sword out? Like,
Okay. I
Again?
am.
It's in the background, like
So I roll. This is I messed this up
1d12.
on my insight check, so I want to make sure I get this right. I get a 12 plus the 6's associate. Okay, that will help
Yes.
because
Cool.
I'm surprised I passed the insight. Okay.
I feel like he's gone and done like even unknowingly like step forward and then just done a Captain Morgan like on a barrel somewhere. Like
oh, the wind is billowing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like through the hair.
Yes.
Okay. That is
I will
Try
to
also
look
at-
say, because you're a guest, I will allow this. If you would like to use one of your 3 remaining hope points, that will allow you to roll an extra d6. You will be down to 2 hope points. They
Okay,
are
I
replenishable,
will
but yeah.
definitely do that.
Roll
Cool.
everything.
Tariel's
I'm
looking
rolling
at him
everything.
like, I know this mortal man did not just make me hard eyes. Like,
Faramir,
I
who?
thought you were gonna get someone else with that.
I just rolled. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, that's 1 past my target.
Oh,
Hey, I'm going to roll a dice.
Oh,
Oh my
Come
god, oh my
on.
god, oh my god, oh my god.
15, 19. Okay, so this is an insight check for Sangaya. Just going to look at you cautiously. Are you a man of Gondor, Mr. Lordling?
I am.
Do you embody the... She looks around at her crew. Same prejudices as your father and father's father?
You know, Sangaya, I think you, as well as I, know that we do not inherit the sins of our fathers. I think in a time like this, we owe it to one another to perhaps see what is in front of us rather than behind. I stand before you asking for your hand in an uneasy alliance rather than judging each other on the actions of those who came before us.
You speak well for one so covered in monster blood. She pauses and considers because her crew of about half a dozen are also covered in blood and standing there looking at like, oh, what's Captain going to do? Without breaking eye contact, Erkurion, where do you need to go? Ooh-hoo-hoo. I'm not taking you to Mordor.
will you
But-
take us as far as Dol Amroth?
Dol Amroth is inland, girl. This is a vessel of the water, and I am no one's personal bodyguard.
Will you take us to the island?
I just to pause for a second.
Go ahead.
I thought Dol Amroth was on the island. Or doesn't it jut out into the ocean?
So hang on.
It's on a little thingy. It sticks
Oh,
out.
no,
We
it's-
can.
It's
I
on the
was
coast. It's on.
hoping
Yes.
she could
so
get
it's
That's what I
us
on.
thought.
Right.
past
So it is.
that.
Oh, actually, shit.
You
I
screwed
fucked
with
that
the
up.
rings, guy?
We gotta let's retcon this. I am so
Yeah.
sorry about that. I completely thought that Belfalis was more inland. That is my fault. Hang on.
Did I just out geography you?
You did.
Oh.
I'm
Oh.
kind of impressed. Almost.
Inspiration point? What?
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
just
a
an
what?
extra reroll today, maybe? What?
I was like, these are the sea bitches of Gondor.
Yeah, take a fellow. You're non-fellowship. Take a hope point. Take a hope point, Tariel.
Hey.
Yeah, we,
I'll
we
allow
didn't
it.
do
I'll allow
shit.
it. Yeah, I reward things. I reward things. She is going to look at you though and say, well, seeing as I am a wanted woman in Dol Amroth, no. However, if there are other locations you would perhaps like to travel to,
Tolfalis?
Is
The
it
island.
possible? Oh.
No, go ahead.
What if I could offer you safe passage this one moment as a gesture of goodwill?
Reward. Reward.
you would offer me safe passage to your father's island?
So immediately, Erkurion is slipping mentally now, worrying that this woman knows Imrahil is on this island. And now his mind's racing, wondering, do you know that he's on the island?
I do.
Is he well?
When I last saw him, yes.
If you would offer us safe passage to this island and perhaps leave us with this boat here, then yes. And everything is well, and my father is well, then yes, I think I could offer you safe passage through the area.
For safe passage, I'll take you there. for a full pardon for my crew and I'll let you have the boat.
Oh.
That's a full pardon, you understand. And not just me and the people on this boat. A full pardon.
Oh, man.
Stakes.
Just out of the scene again real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want to... I'm thinking now about the island and the resources available to us. It is possible my father has a vessel with which that we can travel on without needing to ingratiate ourselves any deeper with this group, but it is a risk. It is entirely possible that vessel is not viable. And so this is kind of a roll of the dice.
Half now, half later.
Don,
Deal?
could you describe to us the vessel? Like, what's at stake
Yeah,
here?
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you
Great
know,
question.
Is it what Peter Jackson was walking on in Return to King?
it's not quite that. And Erkurion, you would start to look around and notice this doesn't resemble a typical Corsair vessel that's sort of like low to the ground, wide, lots of moving spaces. This seems almost like kind of a more Gondorian sort of ship. It's kind of equivalent to that thing that remember in Pirates of the Caribbean when Jack and Will board the ship and it's like, this ship cannot be pirated or crewed by 2 men, and there's like 7 or 8 dudes. This is that kind of thing. It's a little smaller than that because like you need a crew to like, sails and all of that, but you can get by with a skeleton crew if you need.
Okay.
Oh, it's a big
better than
ship.
the raft.
It's a decent size ship. It's able to hold your previous boat on its dock, like in the or not dock, the sort of like the
Poop
pulley
deck.
system on the side.
Yeah, that's the
the poop deck. Yeah.
that is the proper term.
Wait.
Okay.
Yes.
My
Wait.
lady?
Hang on. I
Wait.
don't want to derail. Is poop deck a real thing? Like that's
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
that's
it
an
is.
actual.
That's the deck.
That's a nautical term.
that's
Yeah, you
not
got
like
the
a child's.
forecastle, you got
No,
poop deck.
No.
why would it be a?
Because poop deck sounds weird. Why
How
would
would
you?
a child come up with poop deck?
Because poop is funny to kids.
Poop
not
is
to
funny to adults.
Poop
I
is
was
very
about to
say,
fun. Never
poop is just-
underestimate a good poop joke.
I don't underestimate a good poop joke. I have a 6-year-old niece and she's obsessed with poop jokes right now, but it seems like a specific thing that a child would look at a ship, a picture of a boat and go, that's the poop deck. Like that, I don't think.
Charlotte, I have found the answer, and it is so good.
Tell me.
The name originates from the French word for stern, le poupe, from Latin, poupus.
Yes,
Thus,
which is a
the-
constellation in the southern hemisphere.
Thus, the poop deck is technically a stern deck, which in sailing ships was usually elevated at the roof of the stern or after cabin, and is now known as the poop deck. This has been Obscure Boat Facts. Join us next time. That's
The
our
stern
podcast. Thank you so much
after
for
the
coming.
okay, all right.
The aft.
Guys,
the,
So-
yeah,
give
okay.
me pirates.
So- The deck preceded the human anatomy then. So we then said, well, that comes out of our rear. Maybe we call it the poop.
Poop. Now I have to know the etymology of poop.
Oh God,
Oh,
here we go.
God.
That's
All right, we're
funny
going to
if they
get
would
back
actually
into
poop
our game.
on the
Right.
bow.
Anyways.
Okay.
It is.
okay.
It's the same word.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Je le poop.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
To
no,
poop
it's
comes
not.
from the
Anyway,
French word. Le
Oh
poupe.
my God.
actually,
Okay.
it is. It is a
It
different
comes
word.
from
It
the-
is a French word, I think. Anyway, we'll
Of
come
course,
back
it's
to it.
French. It's shit.
Je
We'll come
poop.
back to it. Sorry.
Hey,
poop.
Tori,
Okay.
For excrement's
Zach,
a different word.
in your life, did you ever think you would be making poop jokes with Trevor Collins from Achievement Hunter
No.
and Rooster Teeth?
No,
In
no,
your
I didn't.
life,
I didn't,
did
I don't
this
think this is-
scenario
I
ever
didn't think this is
exist?
where my neck. If I could put it back like even a year, I didn't think this is this is where we'd be.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought we'd be done by now.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm sorry. I'm really
No.
sorry.
It's
Never.
that's a
Yeah,
it's a,
don't
obviously a
apologize.
compliment. It's been fantastic, but no. Also, apologize for any French people out there. I have beef, but I'm English, so I'm allowed.
I was about to say.
Wow. Oh my
Meanwhile,
God. And we talk
most-
about Sangaya's bad blood.
Most of us Americans are just co-opting all the language, poop,
Oh yeah.
cul-de-sac.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beyonce.
Okay. Beyonce. All right. Back into the
Anyway,
moment then.
yes, sorry, we're back in.
Um,
We've fully left the stream. We are back in.
Yeah. So eye
And Kawhi
contact.
here.
Eye contact. She wants a full pardon.
She wants a full pardon.
Okay.
And
With
she'll let you have the
But
boat.
also,
Okay.
Tariel has a question.
Go ahead.
While there's this tense moment,
Yeah.
while they're trying to
I'll say,
figure
are
it
you
out.
trying to ask that question out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Before,
Just a small question.
Before you do that, I'm gonna say, Erkurion, are you like, this is kind of your moment? I don't necessarily want to break any tension,
Right.
but would you be comfortable with Tariel chiming in as you lock eyes, or do you think you have this woman? Is
I'll
this
leave
like
it to
a hang on,
Charlotte
guys, I
to-
got this, or is this a group effort?
I think with the information now that I have about the
Mhm.
boat, because it was a great question, Max, to ask. I think there could be a tense drama.
Sorry, Picard. It was an off
Perfect.
day. I was just
God.
Data needs your help down in
Our lore master today is Daft Punk.
I leave it to Charlotte. I think I kind of break eye contact and walk towards. I imagine it's just.
There's no need to break eye contact. It's literally, if she's already standing right there,
Mhm.
like, all she'll just as a in the role of sort of an advisor, basically. So she'll sort of lean in, look meaningfully at Erkurion, and then back to Sangai and said, "My lady, when you say your ship, do you also mean your crew?"
I do.
Okay. Amazing
Whoa.
question,
That
by the
changes
way.
the stakes
Changes
somewhat.
a lot.
Is she offering to like a bunch of pirates
Yeah.
to go with us? Like,
So I'm near the edge of the ship, having just got on. And I turn from her a little bit and rest my hand on the handrail that runs around this ship. Having grown up in Gondor, I recognize the touch of these railings. Having once been a child running about very, very similar decks, and memories a flood to my mind. And it's a conflict of history with modern, the tumultuous nature of this modern world. And all things considered, I hold onto this railing, and I decide to maybe trust in this moment, to let go a little bit of the past. And I reiterate the stakes. I say, for a full pardon, you essentially will join us on this quest. And I look back at her.
I'd like you to make me another persuasion check.
You
Okay.
got this.
the upper
You
edge
got
of the
this.
ship is called the Gunnel. Go on.
Thank you. I will also allow, actually, I reward good roleplay. Trevor, I'll remind you, you can use one of your 2 remaining hope points if you would like, and I will allow anyone else, because Charlotte chimed in, to use a fellowship point. So if you would like, you can roll 2 extra d6. That is up to you, though, Trevor.
Okay. And just metagaming a little bit with the mechanics.
Yeah, please.
Mhm.
That you indicated there is a benefit to going over your target.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
the way it works is you hit your target number, and then if you go over your target number, I basically decide it's like a difficulty challenge rating in D&D. Like, I'm not going to put you up against an Elder Dragon if you're level 1, because the challenges are too high. In this instance, persuading her to do something is going to be a little higher past your target number, and I want to see how well you arrive at that persuasion, if that makes sense.
I think it is incredibly worth the extra hope point for not only kind of materializing like what my character feels in their role, but also in I think the stakes of the world, and basically just, yeah, I think it's worth it. So I will roll another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then are you also using a fellowship point, which is another d6. So it would be 2 extra d6 on top of your regular roll.
Let's see.
If you have already beaten your target number, you do not have to.
Yeah, I think I don't want to drive it home that hard. I
Okay.
think this is an incredibly important moment, and will speak a lot to Erkurion's character. But I think so. Okay, I've hit my target, and then with the extra hope point, I go over 3.
There's this moment of tension that Arcurion and Sangaya feel, and the rest of you pick up on it. And the crew watches you all as you watch them. You're just like him, you know. Same cheekbones. Princeling, I'm of a mind to believe you. Given the circumstances, I might even be inclined to join you. But it is not just my life that I have to think of. I'll take you to your father. But I would like to speak with him and you directly. If I am to join you, I want my voice heard.
Very well. Safe passage to the island. And then, after our conversation, we can strike up the pardon.
Very well. Gorin, bring the ale. Lady Tariel, you mentioned elvish wine?
I believe my compatriot is the one carrying the wine at the moment.
It was Halloweth, that's right. I'm a little tipsy myself. I do apologize.
You like
Thank
him
God that
better
helped me.
anyway.
I'll get the cups. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our 5-minute break.
Yeah!
Oh,
Pirate Queen
Oh.
ally.
we're pirates now, and that's
That's all Max heard.
We're just gonna sail around now. It's gonna be great.
Fury would look so
That-
great in a pirate hat.
I was just
Mhm.
about to say the same thing.
Just a little oversized or
I was
something.
just about to say
Just
we
like,
got to
wait a
get
minute.
Miri a pirate hat.